Again, we will not be exporting raw materials again, because since time immemorial, Ghana has been exporting raw materials, and we are just earning peanuts. We now want to change the story, where Ghana will be exporting finished goods and then earn more of the resources from the international market to supplement local production. And that is the way we are going now.
Africa grows more than 70% of the world's cocoa, yet earns only 1% of the global chocolate industry, which is worth over $119 billion. This means African farmers do the hardest work, but the profit goes elsewhere. Countries like Ghana export raw cocoa beans, while Europe and the US turn them into chocolate, package it, and sell it back to the world at a much higher prices. This isn't just about cocoa, it's about how Africa keeps exporting raw materials and importing poverty. Ghana's Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Agric Opoku, says it's time to change that.
The President has already indicated that under his watch, he wants to use agriculture as the engine for economic transformation. It is the belief of His Excellency that with agriculture, we can change lives in this country. We can change the economic story of Ghana. And so if agriculture is going to be the engine, then what are the specific projects for implementation in order to actualize this agenda? And the major one which serves as the umbrella of all the projects is what we call the Feed Ghana project. Under the Feed Ghana project, we want to feed the Ghanaian people as well as the Ghanaian agro industries. So we are not only thinking about producing enough food to feed the people of Ghana, we are also thinking about producing enough raw materials for industrial operations. We believe that if we are able to establish that symbiotic, strong relationship between agriculture and industry, along the value chain, we can create millions of jobs, bring down unemployment, and then also wean ourselves from the huge food import bill. Again, we will not be exporting raw materials again, because since time immemorial, Ghana has been exporting raw materials, and we are just earning peanuts. We now want to change the story, where Ghana will be exporting finished goods and then earn more of the resources from the international market to supplement local production. If we're able to do that, we'll restore stability to the exchange rate and then create that conducive atmosphere for businesses to thrive, thereby creating the jobs that we need, gainful employment for the youth of our nation. And Tree Crop Authority is to provide the seedlings that is required, the technical advice, the technical support, and the support that the farmers require to be able to go into the production of these strategic crops. Because we have been relying on cocoa for a long time, and even the cocoa, we export just the raw cocoa beans. When you look at the entire African continent, when it comes to the supply of raw cocoa, Africa supplies over 70% of raw cocoa beans to the market. But when it comes to chocolate, that is where cocoa has been manufactured into chocolate. The global market is estimated around $119 billion, and African share is 1%. When it comes to raw materials, our share is 70%. But when it comes to value addition, we do just 1%. It means that our expenditure on manufactured goods imported from other countries will create jobs in those countries at the expense of our own people. And so this is the time for us to change the story. So the cashew we are producing here, we are not only going to export the raw cashew. We want the factories to set up here. We want to add value so that Ghana will be exporting processed cashew. Even the share. If you produce the raw share and you sell, you won't get anything. But if you change it into shea butter and you send it to the foreign market, I mean, the demand is very huge, and you are likely to bring in a lot of foreign, resources. And that is the way we are going now.
His message is clear. He wants to stop exporting just raw materials and start producing finished goods right here in Ghana. It's part of the government's Feed Ghana program, not just to grow food, but to power industries, create jobs, and reduce imports.
Our 24-hour economy strategy will complement this ambition by developing focused value chains in cassava, tomato, palm oil, pharmaceuticals, textiles and garments, and industrial machinery with With effective implementation, we are confident that by 2034, Ghana can reduce the national unemployment rate from 14.7% as it currently stands to under 5%.
And this is how everything is going to play out.
We have a country in which we have between 2.1 to 2.5 billion dollars of import bill when it comes to food alone, and that's about 20 billion to 25 billion dollars of food import. And if you look at the food import, if you break the food imports, we are talking about mainly products that we actually are able to produce. So the idea of the 24-hour economy is to look at transforming our economic system by looking at three key areas. The first is, how do we transform our production processes to ensure that we are able to have enough raw materials that can serve industry, but at the same time also have food to be able to become self-sufficient. So we are talking about made in Ghana goods. And then the second pillar is, how do we do that by ensuring that when you get the food from the farm, it is landing on your table? And how do we do it in a way that is so packaged, the content is quality, and it's palatable for you? So we're looking at logistics, supply chain, and market efficiency. And then the third component is the human capital that will actually drive these two processes. Do we have the enough skills? Do we have the right attitude? Do we have the technology? Do we have the competence to do that? So the human capital strategy is part of it. So you will see we are looking at these three pillars. Now let's look at the question that concerns agriculture in terms of production. We are looking at really developing end-to-end value chain agricultural products. So the staples, for example, you have your rice, your cassava, and your millet. We also have your edible oils such as palm oil, the shea butter, and also other edible oil like granite. Then you have the vegetables, and then you have the poultry and the fishery. So we're looking at building a value chain around those, and then organizing this production in agroecological parks so that we'll be able to provide the technical capacity that the producers need, and we're able to help them to do the economic transformation of their products. So by the end of the day, what we want to do is be able to substitute our import in a very big way, so that whenever you go to the market, it is made in Ghana food that you're actually going to see.
When you process what you grow, you keep the value at home. And that's how Ghana and Africa can truly rise. And that is all for today's episode. Please let us know your thoughts and suggestions on this in the comment section below. My name is Sheriff Haruna, reporting for AS1 News. Have a joyful life and see you in the next one. Mackerel.